Guys, welcome to the lecture of AWS, where in this lecture we are studying about the concepts, like we studying about the Amazon Dynamo database, where we have shown the what is the NoSQL, what are the data types of NoSQL, how the NoSQL data looks like. Where I gave this example from the official website, like this is how the NoSQL data is being created, where it is there in the form of key value pairs. So now in the last lecture we also created the Dynamo database using this particular concept. Like if I go to AWS, if I go to DynamoDB, uh, if I go to my tables here, this table we have created in the last lecture. Now using the web console we have created, but using the command line prompt we didn't create it. So now what we will do, using the terminal we'll going to create this particular things. So now to create the table from the terminal, so what we have done, we have first configured the IAM. So after the configuration is done, now what you have to do, then here if I go to my Chrome here, if I go to my list, so first step is what you have to configure the AWS CLI before using the DynamoDB. This is very important. Then what you have to do, now you have to create the table, insert the data, query and manage, like retrieve, scan, update, these things you have to do. So enter AWS configure means, here you saw last lecture we have entered the access key ID, secret key ID, where we copied this access key ID, and this from here itself we copied and we pasted here in. And we also entered the region that is important for us, that is the we kept AP South one. And output format, we click the enter and we just listed out, we got the JSON file. Means the first particular step has been finished. Now second step is what you have to create a Dynamo table. See, we don't need to remember this syntax and all, this is not that required. So what I will do to create the table, I will go to my Google. Here I'll write AWS NoSQL database creation using DynamoDB. So in CLI. So once I click on this, here this particular first website you will get, create a query with new table you will get. So if you want, you can directly go from just click on the AWS DynamoDB. Benefits of this, you can go this. So like this, if you search all these concepts, you can able to go to these things. So let's say here we will go to this create DB instances. So here in this, it has given this particular all the commands. This is how you can able to use this. This is the reference sheet. So we will go to this particular documentation, where what to create the table, how you can able to do. So here for creating the table, we have to use this particular syntax, where this is the table name, this is the table that I wanted to create, that is the music table. Then we have to specify the attributes, like what are the attributes, what are the what are the columns that you want in your database, that things you can able to specify. So then you have to specify the, like this, you want this artist to be the partition key means primary key. So what you will do, you will specify the primary key. So now we will going to see how you can able to create a table. So now here I'll going to create a table of students only, I'll going to create. So for this, what I'll do, I'll go to my terminal. Here I'll write AWS Dynamo DB, and after this I'll going to refer these things. So what I'll do, I'll click on the create table. So I'll paste the create table, and then you have to enter this forward slash. And in this forward slash, first thing what you have to do, you have to specify the attribute. So here you have to specify the table name. So what is the table name I want? I want that in my table name should be, here let's say if I go to table name, it has given this music here. So instead of music, what we will do, we will going to take the employee table. Okay, employee table. So in the employee table, we will going to have some attributes like employee ID, we have salary, we have attribute, we have role, that is one of the attribute. These three attributes we will going to take now. So the table name has been created of employees. Now what you will do, here you have to specify the attributes. So here I'll click on this particular forward slash. Now I'll again specify the attributes. So what are the attribute name that I have to specify? This is the syntax for writing the attribute name. So in attribute name, what I'll specify, in attribute name I'll going to specify it as the either artist, or here I want that it should be employee ID. Here I will write as employee ID, EMP ID. So what is this EMP ID? It's an employee ID, right? So this employee ID we are specifying. Then you have to specify its type also. So this, see, in the last lecture I discussed you the data types of the NoSQL, where we have S stands for the string, and if you remember or not, in this particular thing we have discussed the data types, not here. Here I guess here we discussed the data types. Uh, where is the data types? Not here. Here I guess. Item sort key, yeah. S stands for string, N stands for number, bool stands for boolean, L stands for list, M stands for map, S stands for string set. So these are the data types that we studied. So we'll going to use these data types to create our table. So now what I will do here, I'll again go to this thing here. Attribute type S means what? It's a string data type, correct? So I want my employee ID to always be there in the string itself. So after specifying the attribute type, you created one table attribute, and you also given the attribute, means this string data type you have given to this thing. Now second thing what you have to do, then you have to give the, if you put here slash, if you want to write the another attribute name, you have to just write attribute name. And in attribute name what I will write the role. So role also, obviously my attribute type will be string, attribute type is string here. So these are the two things that we are using to create the particular thing. Then you have to specify the primary key. So in this particular table, you know what is primary key. This employee ID is primary key. As for employee, this is different. And if you want, you can also write this thing also, like here we will write attribute name, here we will write attribute name, attribute name. In attribute name what we will specify, we will specify it as the role we specified, and we'll specify the name. And here the attribute types that we have, attribute type that we have, this we will keep it as s itself. Okay, if you want you can specify one more column. Let's say if I go here and if I write this, and if I write attribute name, attribute name, here I will write it as, here I write age, and here I will write attribute type as int, or attribute type as n, means number. So after these particular things have been created, then now you have to specify the primary key and foreign key you have to specify. So what I will do here, I will go it, and here I will go it, and I will just write this. I'll copy this particular command. There is no need to specify the range, there is no need to specify the foreign key. If you specify primary key, that is enough for us. So now what I will do here, I will just go, I'll just paste this thing, and instead of attribute name here, we'll going to write this EMP ID. EMP ID we'll going to keep, and we'll keep it as hash. Hash means primary key, partition one. Now here, now after this, what you have to specify, you have to specify the billing mode. So for this, what we will do here, we'll go to here forward slash, and we will going to just copy this command, and we will just paste it here, because this command everywhere it will remain the same only. So from this billing mode we have copied it, we have copied everything, we have copied all of these components that are required for us. But one important thing I want to tell you, when you put double hyphen to the next itself, you try to keep it so that it won't give you the error. If you don't keep it, if you keep one space or one space you will keep, it will give you the error. So always don't give space for after hyphen, don't give the space. So yeah, like this, if you go now, if I go here, if I go here, it will, if I go here, let's say it will, let's go back to our table. And after writing the billing mode, after you specifying the attribute schema like billing mode, paper request, after you specify all of these things, after writing the billing mode, then last step you have to do is table class. So there are two types of standard class, what we told, like one is standard, one is 1a. So for now we will going to create the standard class. And once if I click the enter, now you see that now this is one error it has told. What is there at the table name, it is showing the attribute definitions. Like here it is telling the table name employee, it is telling one particular error. So these errors you will also get 100%, you will get the errors. So what we will do, we will just copy this error, we'll go to ChatGPT, because see, our syntax is almost correct, only some small mistakes are there. So we'll go to GPT and we'll ask fix this error. So once this this particular errors, you obviously will going to get. If you don't get errors, means this is the problem, like employee table, attribute name, employee ID, everything is correct, just it's just the way of just the little bit of things that we have to follow it, the syntax things. And once you click on these things, now if you see that this table class is standard, billing standard, this standard, everything is same, only not that change, only little bit of the syntax changes sometimes. So if I click on the enter, now it is taking time, it couldn't able to connect to the endpoint. So now this particular endpoint couldn't connect it to this thing. So what I will do now, it is telling this particular endpoint error, means, so what is the endpoint? If I say, what is the endpoint, that is say that this is an, this one a that we wrote here, this one a that we wrote here, if you see here, this AWS, when we try to create the configure, when we try to create the account list user, and in the last lecture, if you remember, here we have configure, we wrote get, here we, here in this we have written the availability zone. That is why the error came, because in the last lecture we have specified this, instead of region we specified it as the zone. That is the error we got. So now what we will do, we'll fix this error, we'll write AWS configure. Then what we will do, you will write this access key, because sometimes you, instead of writing this thing, you accidentally you will also make this mistake. So instead of a region, we sometimes we write it as availability zones. So that is why this things happens frequently. So if I go to my users, if I go to my new user, if I go to security credentials, if I go to my access key here, and if I go here, and if I click on the actions here, we'll just delete the access key for now. If I go to, yeah, see, if I, we just for now we will go into access key deactivated, this thing, this access key ID. So what is the access key ID that we have here? We have specified the access key ID, like before and all we specified the access key ID. So okay, no issues, we will going to copy this ID, we'll going to activate this ID, and we will going to again click the edit description. We'll click on first we will deactivate this ID, and then here it will ask you to give this ID, we'll click on this ID. And now this access key is deleted, we'll click on the create access key command line interface. I understand the above, next, create access key. Once you create, you have been given this access key. So now what is this thing, after this is the access key that we want, so we click on the enter. Then we have to pass the this particular thing, that is the secret access key. We'll write the secret access key. Then instead of writing the AP South 1, I will write AP South 1, I will specify. So now if you want to check whether we have written correct or not, see, this is the region part, this is the regions, all the regions. So this regions AP South means it's a region. So now if you try to execute this command, it will 100% work. Now if I write AP South 1 here, we'll click JSON, and now we will write AWS IAM list of users. If I write now, you will get one JSON file. Now after getting the JSON file, now you are ready to create the database. So we'll go and we'll copy this database, we'll go into paste here, where we created one table. And now if I click, see, this very big thing has been came, means this table has been successfully created by all of this information of the table has been specified, where this is the table ID. So this is what happen if you keep the availability zone in place of region. You create the DynamoDB in a region, not in availability zone. These mistakes you can also make. 100% will make these errors. So that's why to debug these errors, it's better option to use the ChatGPT, because our command is correct only, right? There is no mistake in our command. It's just that key, instead of this particular some little bit syntax error mistakes, it will happen frequently. So now after writing this, now what we have to do, we have done all of these tasks, we have created the table successfully, it is giving this table like this. Now if you want to see the table, if you want to if you want to see the particular table, like is this table really working or not. For this what I will do, I'll click on this, and instead of music I will going to write my employee table here in employee table, employee. So if I write the employee table here, employee, and if I click enter here, now you will see that the table status is active. So what does this table status active means? The table is present now, and now you can able to add record, delete record, whatever thing you want you can able to do in this table. So now after this what you have to do, see this table status active means it is working. So now what you have to do, if you want to enable the PITR, so for PITR you can able to you can able to directly copy this code and you can able to paste it, because it will work. So it will be creating the JSON file like this. So we'll copy this command, we'll going to paste this command, and instead of music what we will do, we will going to specify the employee table, because we want PITR to be happen, like every time the recovery should be taken, means backup should be taken. So for this it is important that you should able to enable the PITR. Once I click on the error, it is given one error, that is the here in employee, uh, here what is this error we got. This, see, point in time a table name you got as music, we kept it as the employee. So here you couldn't able to find this particular point in time. So, okay, no issues. These errors are very important, because if you understood that okay this particular error has came, next time you won't able to make these errors. So that's why it is important for you guys to always make the error. Now if I go to GPT again, if I go and if I just write instead of music, if I write employee, will this work? If I just write employee here, now what I will do, this is almost correct, but it is sensitive to both spacing and line. See, this is the official document that we referred. Okay, so sometimes in official document also there are some things that that might create problem for you. Like here we have written this particular command, but sometimes some syntax errors might come. So once you enter these particular things, you will be getting this particular file here, means here the PITR also we have enabled, means point in time recovery. So what is this point in time recovery? Let's say if you every 24 hours this will back up your data. So for backing up your data from your database, you will be going to use PITR, that is point in time recovery. Now you have to insert the data. So here we'll write AWS CLI. So to insert the data, what you will do, you have to use this put item command. Okay, what is this put item command? To write multiple commands, like you to enter multiple records, you will going to use this command. So where first we will copy this particular thing, like here I want I only created three tables, right? So I will just write till here, I'll going to open up. Okay, here instead of this I'll going to write till here. And now if you know, like the table that we used here, the table that we used here is nothing but the employee table that we used. And now in this, what is the art, instead of artist what we will use, we will use the employee ID. And employee ID what we'll going to specify, we'll specify the records that will be written in the JSON file. If I go here and if I if you first, you have to specify the data type that you have to specify. So employee ID means the, it is nothing but this string data type. And in the string data type here you will going to enter the value, like the no one, you know, like someone, here I'll write the 101 as the value. I'll write 101 as the value. I'll write 101 as the value. Okay, and in this I will going to pass in a string, because here I gave the data type as string. So here I will going to pass in a string. So like this, what happens? And similarly, what I will do here, I will just, I'll put one here like this, and here I'll put one here like this. So not here, here it should be. So now if I execute this command here, if I execute this command, I close this thing, and after closing this, what I have to do, I have to again close this particular thing. And now what I will do, after closing this, I'll just put the inverted comma, and I'll click on the enter. But it has given the error that command is not found, means some syntax error has happened. So what is the syntax error that has happened? We'll go to GPT, because see, GPT usage is very good for debugging the errors, so to fix the errors. So this thing is, you got the error. Okay, now we will just write, we will just copy this command. Since we have created these four things, that is the employee ID, and then we have created the name and all, so that's why this particular thing is coming. So engineer and age means 30. If I click on the enter, now you see that this particular thing has came, means what, the record has been inserted successfully. If you write this thing, if I go to my AWS step 2, it won't give any output, means the data has been successfully installed. Now you have to verify whether the data has been inserted or not. So to verify the data, what we will do, we will go to GPT to verify whether the data has been inserted. We'll click on this enter. Now to verify this item, we will go into see this, we'll going to use this command to check this. So here we'll go into like this, we'll going to specify this key item as 101 AP South 1. If you click enter on this, you will get the entire record. So this is how you can able to insert the record. You can check whether the record has been inserted or not. You can create the record. All of these things you can able to do. Now the next step comes is, you have to read the data. Read the data means what, you have to like you have to read the data, means you have to see the data from eyes. To see the data from eyes, you have to use the command of this command. You have to use, like here what I will do, here I'll go get item, I'll click on the consider. So here this is the command that we used just now. This if you write AWS command get item, so this get item is used to read the particular, to see the entire data from our eyes, we use the get item command. Okay, so now after using the get item command, this is how you can able to read the data, and like this you will able to see the data, all the data. So like this, if you want to update the data, you'll go to CLI, and we will like instead of this particular thing, we will use this update command query. So to update this command query, what we will do, we will going to use this Linux command. So we'll just copy this particular thing, and in place of artist, we're going to change all of the details. If I click on here, we return all values as new. Here instead of expression, we will, if you want, you can keep this particular new value. You can able to update the table if you want to add a new record, new column in the table. So here we will update the record as employee id as employee id as 102. We will write, here we'll specify it as the 102. Now you have to check the syntax. So now this is how the new value is been entered here. So that's why what we will do, we will go into we will also use the same format we will going to use. So instead of this, we're going to write new value, that is 102 v value. This is the new, that is the updated expression that we wanted to use. Now here in set employee id we have used here. Now here I will going to remove all of these details, or else instead of this particular table, what we will do is, we'll directly ask GPT to do this, give update command. If you write give update command, it will give you the update command, right? Like employee id to senior engineer. So what we will do, we'll set the key, we will update it, we will do this, all the command writing you can do it from here itself, and we'll going to paste this. And once we paste this, you have seen that this particular thing has been updated. To see whether the thing is updated or not, what you will do, you will just going to copy this command, and you will going to this get item command, you will going to copy, and you will just paste it. And once you paste it, the role of from engineer, the role has been updated to senior engineer. So this is how you can able to use the concept of DynamoDB. I hope you understood the concept of DynamoDB, where in front of you we have fixed all of these errors, and using the official document itself, I taught you the coding part. Now if you want to, let's say, do query part, like if I want to do the query part, so to do the query part, what you can do, you can directly use this particular column. Like here I will use this thing, and here attribute, like you can, if you want to add any query, you can add it using here. Now if you want to clean up, means you want to delete the database, that is the, we created the employee database, right? So how you know that the employee database has been created? For this, we'll go to AWS, we'll click on the DynamoDB, and if we click on this tables here, see the two tables have been created. The employee table we just created using the terminal, and the student table we created using this thing. Now I want to delete this table. So in console, if you want to delete the student table, what you will do, you will go to the actions and you will just click on the turn on the deletion protection, means or you can directly click on the delete option. So we'll write confirm, and the table has been deleted. So this student table has been deleted. Now to delete it using the command prompt of employee table, what we will going to do, we will go into the official website, we'll copy this command, we're going to paste this command, and instead of music we will going to write employee. And now instead of right now, what will happen if I click on this thing, this table is been successfully deleted. Now it is in deleting stage. After deleting is been done, it will show the deleted thing. So like this, you can able to do all of the operations. If you want to go to query, you can just go on to the query and you can directly copy this particular thing. So this is how you can able to use it in your operating system. So what is, so till now what we have studied in this lecture, we have created the table, we have inserted the table, we have queried the table. And to create the table, this is the syntax that you use. To list all the tables, we will going to use this particular command, it will list the table names. And we have just inserted the record, we have retrieved the item using the get item. To print all the item onto the screen, you use the get item command. To create item, we, to insert the item, we use put item. To create to create table, we use the create table option. And to delete an item, you use the delete item command. So to delete the entire table, you will going to use this command. So after doing this all things, this is how, like table means what, student table, student id, name Sairam, name means attributes, partition key means the primary key, the short key means the this one foreign key, and storage type is the JSON. This is how the entire thing looks like. So now if you go to this thing like this, in this PDF also we have like insert an item, retrieve an item, list all the tables. To delete an item, this is the command. And what are the key advantages of this? There is no need of server. You see, did we created any server? No. Did we created any instance? No. So that's why you can use it dynamically, you can able to use it automatically. Scaling you can do, you can work with any, you can work automatically without any manual intervention. It is very low latency, means it's very fast. Just now you saw it in 1 second the table has been deleted, means how fast it is. Fully managed means with AWS will handles the backup, it will handle the security and maintain the all the features. And AWS integration means you can integrate it with the Lambda API, gateway, IAM, you can integrate all of these things. So just now we saw how you integrated IAM with this thing. So in IAM, what we done first? First we created the IAM permissions, and after creating the IAM permissions, here one important thing, you should always keep it as region, not as availability zones. These mistakes we often make. That's why I deliberately made this error so that you guys should not make the error. And what are the real world cases? Web and mobile applications. The data of this entire thing is obviously not in the form of tables. So this data can be stored in your NoSQL. In gaming leaderboards means what, to, let's say if you are playing PUBG, in that who is the winner, who is the loser? It is not in the table format. So that data you can store here. If you, the IoT device data means what? Let's say you purchased a mobile phone. All the mobile phone data obviously won't be in the table format. That data you can able to store. To perform the real-time analytics, where the real-time data is required, instant data is required, like time series data or cross-sectional data, then we can able to use this particular thing. To uh, to manage the particular session, that time like e-commerce session, if you are purchasing any particular order, that time you don't have these particular things. So like this thing you can able to, these are the real life examples where you can able to use the AWS DynamoDB. So to configure, first step what you have to do, you have to configure the AWS. Very important. In IAM, access key, secret key, region, enter, it will work. then you have to create the table, you have to add the data, means put item you will going to use, then you have to print the record, so you will use the get item. To view the tables, you click on the list of tables. To delete the tables, you'll click on the delete tables. So this is what the entire concept of DynamoDB looks like. So I hope you understood the concept of DynamoDB, and we also implemented hands-on. Just refer the official document, everything is very easy to do. So that's it guys, I hope you understood this lecture. So any doubt you have, please feel free to put it in the comment section. So this is about the DynamoDB, and next lecture we'll going to deal with the either RDS or Lambda we will going to use. And after doing this both the things, we are ready to go to the all AI concepts we'll going to study. So that's it guys, please do like, share and subscribe guys.